Whereas some opposition leaders are merely promising to fix this and that, President Lungu and team have either already fixed these things or they continue to do so. Agriculture. Zambia today has over 1 million citizens receiving the farmer input support. Today, under Dr. Lungu's watch, Zambia is a leading grain exporter on the continent of Africa. This translates into more money. Over 700 schools have been built. Many Kunalibeba school, Neruyaliko, Kafiran places like that. Mwandi, Babala, there are schools today. Health, over 500 health posts have been built. And just in the last 5 years, over 27,000 health workers have been recruited. Oh, sataya utu mweta awena nchimanga choka zinga mkabzala sichimera ya alungu nifonya watu uchauli kanepa mkuno alekeni abutilize lungu
sigolonse chokela kuna konde nene kumatulo kuchoma kale mpoto alungu watu waze
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this PF-sponsored program on Camnet TV, not just another channel. In the studio with me, I have Dr. Banda. Dr. Banda, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Chilua. It's the first time I've been here, and it's an honor. You have such a lovely place.
Thank you, sir.
And may His Almighty be praised.
Amen.
I'm sure this is to His glory.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, whenever I do interviews of this nature, I would like to caution our viewers that when you start contributing, phoning, or whatever you do, know that this is not just another channel. I demand respect to my guest, and just like my guest will give respect to the viewers.
To everybody.
So there is no way we can vent our different views through insults, demeaning somebody. It doesn't happen. Remember that this is not just another channel. So if you are to contribute, let's contribute from issues. Even as our guest, we will be contributing from what he has prepared. And like I said, it's a PF paid for program, and we're supposed to be on Frank on Camnet, but it's a special interview. Dr. Banda, each time I have guests and have the opportunity to interview them, I would like the guests to know the people, I mean the viewers.
Yes.
I would like the viewers to know my guests from a personal point of view.
Who Dr. Banda is.
Who Dr. Banda is, whether you are married,
Right.
whether you are single and all this, because viewers have got different views.
It's also an opportunity to market myself.
You see
in
now.
case I'm single. Right. Well, Dr. Banda is an ordinary person, a Zambian citizen, born in Mandevu compound.
Really?
Yes. And my father, who died in 1991, he used to work at the Lusaka Engineering Company, Lenco. And there was, that year, there was a tragedy at the company there. A lot of workers were poisoned.
When there was that
You
poison
remember
in the
that?
food.
Correct, in the food.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
your
so one
father-
of the victims was my dad.
Oh, condolences.
That's how I lost him. Yeah.
So sorry.
He was a spray painter, my father. And, you know, when we lost him, you know, he was the one winning the bread for the family.
Absolutely.
So hard times hit. You know, I was born privileged, being the first child of that family. My mother is still alive,
Oh, really?
a devout Catholic. Yeah, and she's always praying for me, for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so hard times hit, and during those days, I used to sell cigarettes. I was a Mishanga seller. Yeah. You can imagine that. And there was some rebuilding going on in Mandevu there. So the house that we used to live in was raised down. We went into Matempa, you know, made of roofing sheets on all sides and the top. And no flow, and we were sleeping on sacks. And in the night, the rats would come and nibble at our feet.
My goodness.
We wake up in the morning, you find your feet are sore, and you have to walk to school. I was at Mutambe Primary School
Where is that?
in Mandevu compound.
Oh, Mandevu, yeah.
Mandevu compound. I think that year I must have been one of the 7 students that passed from grade 7 to 8. I went to Kamwala Secondary School. But I said my childhood was privileged because, you know, being the first, they spent on me, you know, the parental attention was rather particular on me. You can imagine I had tennis rackets where there are no tennis courts. I had tennis balls in Mandevu compound. And, yeah, and families, every time the compound photographer would come, they would say, "Muita neni ujamana bwere." You should be part of the picture because the picture will be brighter that way.
Really?
Yeah, Pastor. You know, that's the childhood I had. And, yeah, the Lord has been merciful and kind to me. Kamwala Secondary School, then my senior secondary education, I did it at David Kaunda Secondary Technical School. And I thought my dad was an engineer. I didn't know he was a spray painter.
Really?
Yeah, so I was focused on technical drawing, engineering and technical drawing, and metalwork. I was one of the best students in my intake in metalwork at the David Kaunda Secondary School. So this is important because kids take after their parents.
Absolutely.
They admire their parents.
Absolutely.
So what parents do is important. The kids will look at the way you live, and they will tailor their lives upon yours.
Absolutely.
So parenting is key in building a nation. Yeah, if we get it right at parents, we'll get it right at kids. Later on, they'll become parents, and we'll end up with a nation that we desire.
Absolutely.
After that, I made it to the University of Zambia, where I studied medicine. I'm a medical doctor.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
All along I've been thinking you are a doctor in economics and all this.
I'm a medical doctor, Pastor Chua.
Really?
And I graduated 24 years ago. Yeah, so I've been practicing medicine all these years.
You do practice even now?
Yes, I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see a patient nearly every day. Yeah, I do house calls. So medical doctor, and then later on, got a scholarship to specialize in public health. I got my master's degree in Japan. I lived in Japan for nearly 2 years, and I got my master's degree there. So I'm a master of public. So if you want to talk about COVID-19 and things like that,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I am the person to speak with you. So I teach at the moment. I'm a lecturer at the University of Lusaka.
Really?
Public health. I was a civil servant for nearly 2 decades at senior management level. And then I left in 2011. I thought the country had given me a lot, so I needed to give back. The education I got was free of charge. We thank Dr. Kenneth Kaunda for that and his team. And we buried him on the 7th of July, but we should keep him unburied.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the man stood for love, loving one another. The man stood for unity of humanity. And the man stood for peace. The man stood for liberty also, freedoms and all that. So these values and principles, we must live them. Yeah, so I thought that the country had given me a lot, and I needed to give back. So I joined the MMD and was a candidate in Mandevu. Didn't make it, and the MMD lost. Was a national executive member of the MMD when the UPND came to me and said, we would want you to be our vice president for politics. I said, wait a minute, don't be in a rush. Go back to the northern part of Zambia, western, southern, eastern, search again. If you truly are convinced that I should be your vice president, come back. You will find me here. They got affronted, they got annoyed. They said, but these are the emissaries of the UPND. They said, no, but doctor, what you're asking us to do is what we have done. Everywhere we've been, people are saying, pick that one. So that's how they picked me. And I thought, well, Zambia is a multi-party democracy. Hichilema is a graduate of the University of Zambia and is heading this political party. And at the time, there was a pungent odor, a pungent smell coming from the UPND. Tribalism. So I thought, well, I think let me help illustrate to the citizens that we can work together. You know, a Tonga can work with a Bemba, a Lozi can work with a Tumbuka. We are one Zambia, one nation. So MMD at the time was number 2. Number 1 was PF. Number 3, UPND. So I could easily have gone to the party in power. But I went to a party which was number 3. Just help, to give support to my colleagues. That's how I became the vice president for politics in the UK. And I still have a large following in that political party. They miss me badly. They actually wonder, you know, they usually ask their president, but you, how did you lose Dr. Banda? You know, he's such a fine player. You know, we could have had him here. Well, I'm still here, my friends, and let's continue to be one Zambia, one nation. Platforms for work will vary over time, but our work, Pastor Chiluba, remains constant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we are vessels of God. Yeah, the glory for what we do belongs to Him. Yeah, so platforms will change, but our mission, service to humanity, exhibiting His magnificence, will remain constant. I was in the UPND for years, about 4 years, loyally and diligently serving Pastor Chilua. When towards the end, you know, my membership was questioned. You know, they said, but the Republican president is Lungu, and this one is Banda. Do you honestly believe, these are senior NEC members of UPND, do you honestly believe that this man is loyal to us? You know, he's a Moor, he's a spy. You know, atitapamkamwa, when we are with him, we are discussing this and that. He goes to State House in the dark to deliver reports to President Lungu. And President Lungu is my witness. I never saw him.
You never saw him? I
never went there, sir. Actually, so they called me a traitor there on the basis of my ethnicity. And President Lungu, what Hichilema and the UPND don't know, would call me, and then I would say, but you're calling me. There's a third person listening to this conversation. And he would say, no, look, I'm the president. I can call anyone. And then he says, I want you to work with me. What the hell are you doing the other side? And then I would respond to him and say, Zambia is a multi-party country. The people of Zambia in 1991 decided that we restore multi-partyism.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have the liberty to belong to a party of my choice. So by belonging to the UPND, I'm actually helping you, President Lungu, govern Zambia. And then Lungu would say, you are a traitor, you should be with me. So Hichilema says I'm a traitor. Lungu says I'm a traitor. And then I would look up there to my father and say, hey, God, listen to these people. Yeah, God is my witness. You know, I do my work inspired by my faith in Him. I loyally and diligently save whichever master I come in contact with. And I serve that master, even as I belong to these political parties. But along the way, we discover this flow, that flow in these individuals, and we change these, you know, masters, these earthly masters. So they hounded me out of the UPND.
So you did not resign out of your own will?
The plan, Pastor Chilua, early days when I joined, what Geoffrey Walyamwamba would attest to, he called me to his workshop when he became the other vice president for administration. He said, na wishiwa Banda, ababa nesu, ngatwakwata NEC meeting, wala kwata meeting iyawo. Now, iyawo meaning what? Geoffrey said, no, abatonga beka beka. They meet after our NEC meeting, and they re-resolve, you know, make fresh resolutions and all that. So before Geoffrey, I acted like I didn't know because I wanted to hear his side of the story. But before he joined, I knew. And there was one meeting, NEC meeting, I was as frank and as candid as I usually are. I am. So I could add value to the party. But at that Tonga's only meeting later on that day, I was discussed. So they said, Banda, the way he was speaking, he was even challenging some of your thoughts, as if he's some kind of god or something. And then the resolution was made at that meeting, Pastor Chilwa, that we will use him. Yeah, we will use him, and when the time comes, we will discard him, we will dump him. Early days of my joining the party. Yeah, somebody who was part of that meeting came and told me. I said, well, God knows. I stayed because I wanted to help the people of Zambia through that platform. So perhaps that was an opportunity now, towards the end, to say, let's get rid of this fellow. So they started a story which was false. It wasn't true. I expected thank you from Hakainde Hichilema, the UPND. But instead I got a kick in the ass. Actually, up to now, they owe me a note of gratitude. Because where they are today is partly a function of my efforts. So the illustration I wanted to make by joining them, that we are truly one Zambia, one nation, failed. Because it's the very tribalism that saw me out of the party.
May I ask this, Doctor?
Yes.
I don't know. I have seen that when people are jostling for power,
Yeah.
or when people are in leadership, sometimes it may not be the person who is on top fighting you, but the people around that person. Did you have any personal encounter or differences with President Echech?
Yes, you're right, Pastor Chilua. Early days of my being vice president in that political party, there was a degree of liberty. I remember Austin Liato arranged defectors in Western Province, and I was picked to go and receive them. I went there. And then there was talk in his inner circle that don't allow this chap to move a lot, because he might displace you. So perhaps that's a prelude to what I'm going to tell you now. Because just after we lost in 2015, something that shouldn't happen in Zambia or to anyone happened to me. The Southern Province Executive Committee of the party invited me to the province. They said, adoko tabwera nikuno. Chifukwa inu mkamakamba mmatilimbitsa. So come, and we are weak, the morale is low. Come and strengthen us. So I put together my team of about 8-9 people. And most of them Tonga. We were working very well with various ethnicities in my team. So we started off, and my wife was by my side. She was the pillar of strength. Remember you said, are you married and all that?
That's right.
I lost her 5-6 years ago.
No.
Yeah. She left.
Condolences.
The Lord recalled her. It is well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
I celebrate
about
her having been a part of me.
Sorry.
And I thank God for her. Yeah, because everything that I needed from a husband perspective, I got it from her. Yeah, she was given to me by God. And, you should have seen it. I'll show you pictures later. You will wish she was here. She was such a good-looking, stunning person.
So she was with you when you were
She was by my side.
Yeah.
So we are now driving to Southern Province, heading towards Mazabuka. When this call comes, go back, in his authoritative, decided voice.
Who is that?
Hakainde Hichilema now. You said, was there a personal difference? Remember? So I'm illustrating that now. So go back. So I say, go back where? Turn back, don't go to Southern Province. So I said, but why should I go back? He said clearly to me, you don't belong there. So I said, this is new. I think it was an unguarded moment on his part. What do you mean I don't belong to Southern Province? Because my understanding is that this whole Zambia is mine with the rest of the Zambians. Mongu, Solwezi, Mansa, all these, they belong to me. They belong to you. And, no, you don't belong there. No, look, I am a Banda. Because I said, but where do I belong? And he was very clear. He said, you belong to the Eastern Province. Okay, this is new. I belong to the Eastern Province. I didn't know. But look, I'm a Banda. And when I go and interact with the Hamweles or the Hadunkas...
May I interject, Doc?
Yes, proceed.
At that moment, if it's coming from a distinguished person in the name of the president of UPND, did you have a thought of saying, maybe let me record this because it was unusual? Because
no,
because I was going to say,
I was
you
going
record?
to ask for permission to record, but perhaps his coming out was not going to be natural. It was visceral. It came right from the bottom of his heart. Yeah, so I didn't think of recording.
So did you turn back?
Oh, yes. Yes, you don't belong there. And I thought, oh, here, this is a problem. We turned back. I got home. My wife was in tears. Watete wake mailosi. Nchifukwa chiani mulunzi nzika tere.
That is deep now.
Yeah.
Nichifukwa
Why
chani.
are you suffering like this?
Oh, okay.
These people don't love you. Saa kukondani aba bantu. She cried. And me, I thought, well, fisanga baume. Yeah. So months later, I approached Hichlema. I confronted him. I said, but what was that? And he couldn't look me in the eye. He was ashamed. He realized he had made a big mistake because the Southerners that had invited me, that same day they drove to his house and insulted him there. They said, but this is the man who is selling you. How the hell do you treat him like that? So he says, oh, can I give you food? They said, sina bwerere kudya kuno. Should I give you fuel? They said, no, we have our own fuel. And one of the sponsors of the trip was Shatis, who is at Mazabuka there. Vulahaki's family and all that. So I approached him. I said, but why did you do that? He dropped his face in shame. And all he could say was, let bygones be bygones. I didn't pursue the matter. I let bygones be bygones. And I continued to loyally and diligently save. I never shared this publicly with anyone. Yeah. Because I realized it would be damaging to the team. Yeah. And then later on, after serving him loyally and diligently, he didn't pick me as a running mate. He picked Geoffrey. I didn't leave, Pastor. I stayed with the team. And Hichlema was shocked. At a rally in Chawama there, he spent about a minute talking about me. He said, I thank you, my friend, for the behavior you have exhibited. Because had it been others in your shoes, they would have left. But you're still with me. Hichlema knows I'm a good man. He knows that. And I bonded so well with his family. I have forgiven everything that came my way in a negative sense from him. Every time, every year it's his birthday, you know. His birthday is on the 4th of June. Mine is on the 8th of June. I say happy birthday to him. You know, I still communicate with his wife and family. We bonded so well. Yeah, but you see, my interaction with the man is such that today I would advise him, Pastor Chilua, to stick to business. Yeah, let him stick. You know, a leader should have heart. A leader should not look at people as numbers, as statistics. We should look at people as people. For example, the biggest economic mess that happened in this country was just after the 1991 elections. The MMD took over. We had 225 companies, Pastor, in our hands, public hands.
225 companies.
Yes. 80% of the economy of Zambia was public. It was owned by citizens. And that privatization, that movement from public hands to private hands and foreign hands in many instances was flowed. It was fraught with corruption, dishonesty. It was a fraudulent activity. Mbita Chitala, in his book, Not Yet Democracy, he argues that that was the biggest looting that a government has ever done of a country on the continent of Africa. Because those that were doing that exercise, and Hichilema was not alone. He wasn't alone, but he was part of the team. He was a consultant given a particular task. Can you value these things? You see, these assets were undervalued. This is fraud. These assets, the same assets which should have been sold, were shared amongst the people that were in the process, were responsible for privatization and all that. What should have happened, Pastor Chilua? List the companies, value them properly, capacitate citizens to manage companies, give them knowledge to manage, and then later on, capacitate them with startup capital. Allow them to purchase the companies so that, yes, they get into private hands, but citizens' hands in a proper way. That didn't happen. So when I say you should have heart, you know, before you seek public leadership, this is what I mean. Because, for example, in his case, he was motivated purely by profit and opportunism. The whole exercise was devoid of patriotism and nationalism. So there you are now. This is why I keep, yes, Pastor.
Like you said, Doctor, that he was not alone.
No.
What other names have come on the platform? It's like, those of us who don't know, it's like HH, he was the chief consultant.
He wasn't alone.
What other names?
But he's equally culpable, equally guilty. He wasn't alone. When you say what are the names, we can just go back to who was governing at the time. Yeah, the MMD leaders of the day. Oh, these are culpable. Those were economic crimes committed, sir. And today, I keep telling Dr. Lungu, please, don't waste time. For the sake of national healing and truth-seeking and reconciliation, let's have an honest commission of inquiry into what happened that time. Because that's when the economy of Zambia got damaged. You see, the PF, what they're doing now is putting the economy back into citizens' hands, which Dr. Kaunda had done. Look, COVID-19 is a challenge now. There's a shortage of oxygen. People need oxygen to survive. But we had Zamox. We were producing our own oxygen. You understand me?
Zamox is not longer there?
No, it's in foreign hands. And because the economy is in foreign hands, when these foreigners make their money, Pastor, they buy the dollars and they take the money home to India, to Switzerland, to South Africa, to Lebanon, to places like that. This is why the PF, in this manifesto, the pastor, is saying that timber business, logging, will be reserved for Zambians only. Gold mining will be reserved for Zambians only.
You said timber business?
Yes.
It's in there?
It's in here, yes.
So
And
the issue of people, prominent people getting involved in Mukula tree, it will be scrutinized and curtailed.
And Zambians only will be allowed to do that business. So that, you see, when we sell abroad, the dollars come here and they're domiciled here. We should stem the outflow of dollars and increase the inflow. Yeah. So I was talking about gold mining being reserved for Zambians only. Every day, Zambia mines not less than 3 kilograms of gold.
Really?
Yes.
Every day?
Every day. There's gold in Rufunsa. There's gold in Vubi. There's gold in Petauke.
Even Lundazi?
There's gold, sir. We must be grateful to the Almighty for what He did. He's given us everything. We have everything here. Perhaps the richest country on the continent of Africa is DRC. The second is Zambia. Yes. There's gold in Mumbwa. There's gold in northwestern Katsensele and all that. So the gold reserves at the Bank of Zambia have improved. This is why you see the Kwacha strengthening now. KCM was in the hands of Indians, Vendetta. It's in our hands now. Thousands of jobs were saved through that takeover. And terminal benefits paid to the workers. There's a new management now, Zambian management. Mopani Copper Mines was under Glencore. And Glencore, they were abusing us. For example, Pastor, Glencore had bought 300 trucks to ferry copper cathodes from the mines there to take them to Dar es Salaam, Walvis Bay, Durban. And Zambians were only allowed to drive them. But now, the transportation business will be reserved for Zambians only.
Really?
Yes. Zambians only. And the mine itself is under Amake, Chite huku. Niyawo ijalomba mine. Vantu Zambia. It's in their hands now. And under our management as Zambia, of course, entrusted in Dr. Lungu and his team, the production at Mopani Copper Mines has increased of copper. And the running costs have reduced by over 50%. Now, when we sell copper, which is about $10,000 a ton.
A ton, yeah.
Yeah, the money will be domiciled here. This is partly why the Kwacha is strengthening, because the inflow of dollars from copper sales has improved.
So it's not a political gimmick?
Politics is governance. Yeah, what you mean to say, Pastor, is that it's not a trick. Tewufi, kuvika bata and tukumenso. No. These are the economic measures put in place by Dr. Lungu and team. And this is why I say this development trend is on the right rails. And we shouldn't derail it. And I say, ngati mzako aluchita. Awesome chotapwe. For example, Pastor, you see these here. These are cashew nuts.
Cashew nuts, yeah.
Yeah, these are cashew nuts. Now, you see, these cashew nuts, Dr. Lungu and team, through the Industrial Development Corporation, involving over 40,000 households, households, Vantu, Manyumba, they have planted 6 million trees in Western Province. I was listening to you say you have planted, was it, how many avocado trees?
Currently, we have 6,700.
6,000. That's now you as a private citizen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what Zambia should do. Zambians. Diversification of the economy from over-reliance on copper to other non-traditional things. So 6 million trees planted in Western Province. 3 million trees planted in the Eastern Province. Now, in 2 years, 3 years' time, we will begin the first harvest. And the harvest is yearly. We will have over 400,000 tons of cashew nuts. Now, ask me, Pastor Chilua, how much a ton costs of cashew nuts. It's $9,000.
Oh, really?
Yes. And 9,000 by 400,000 tons. That's over $3.6 billion. The money will come into this
Just through cashew nuts.
only cashew nuts. Diversification of the economy at play, walking the talk. It is happening, Pastor. It is happening. And you see, when I hear, I have read all the manifestos, Pastor, of these political parties. And you see, me, I'm privileged because I was in UPND, so I understand the UPND very, very well. You know, the UPND's manifesto is obsolete. It's anachronistic, it's old, it requires redoing. And I read somewhere yesterday that they had done another one and they released it 2 days ago, something like that. This is because what they are promising has either already been done or it is being done. For example, Pastor Chilua, in their manifesto, I have a copy here with me in my tablet. Point number 1, they are saying they'll create quality jobs. Now, just in the last 5 years, Dr. Chilua and Dr. Lungu, Dr. Lungu and team, they have created over 27,000 jobs in the health sector alone. Doctors, nurses, paramedics, these are quality jobs. And they're saying they'll, bring about quality health care. Zambia today is a desirable destination, Pastor Chilua, for medical care, for health care. Patients are coming from Malawi. Patients are coming from Namibia. Patients are coming from Zimbabwe here, seeking our health care. It's already of the required quality. You might remember that a few months ago, we separated Siamese twins, black Zambians, Zambian doctors. At independence, we could hardly operate the telephone because the whites and their wives were managing all these things. They wanted us to be clerks only, Vikabudula Vija and things like that.
Doc,
Yes,
may I
Pastor.
ask
Yes.
this? You're saying that you've created 27,000 jobs in the health sector.
In the last 5 years only.
In the last 5 years.
Yes, Pastor.
There are nurses who haven't been absorbed.
Yeah.
They don't have anywhere to work.
Yeah.
Are those part of the statistics?
But
Or
that is correct.
some clinics where you intend to offload them?
If I go back a bit, before the PF came, we had a deficit of about 30,000 nurses. Under the PF, over 20,000 have been recruited. Quality jobs in the health sector only. Now, you see, the UPND, in ERA, they said within 200 days, they would recruit 6,500 medical doctors. Zambia produces less than 1,000 per year. And those that are not employed yet are less than 200. So you can do the math. Who is telling the truth, Pastor? I mean, look, we must tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Doc, help me again.
Yes.
There are 16 presidential candidates
Yes,
on
yes,
the ballot
Pastor.
box.
That is correct, yes.
Why is it that UPND and PF, you are just on the neck of each other? You are not mentioning these other political
these
parties.
others are merely making the numbers. Yeah, I was listening to, is it Chile Shekateka the other day? She must have been in Mansa or something, in Luapula province, and she says, I am winning these elections. And my eyes widened, and I looked at the television set and said, is she all right? Is she okay? You know, I think let's be frank. Let's take part, Fred Membe and the Socialist Party. They are starting, and they're doing well. Let them participate. It's a democracy. You know, so these are the parties, Pastor Chiluba. They are just making the numbers.
I said
The
that,
contest is between the UPND and
yeah, I said that,
and the PF.
Doc, because I've seen that the two of you are on each other. I wish we had another person on the UPND
No.
ticket
I'm
to
afraid
be.
of them, Pastor. You know why? Because they're saying it's do or die. It's now or never. You know, just a few hours ago, their president posted that it's now or never. It can't be never. Because even when he leaves that office, another Zambian will become president of the UPND. So it can't be now or never. No, please.
May I ask,
Yes, sir.
Doc,
Yes.
how important is the unity of Zambia? Because
Oh.
when we sit here
Yes.
as a preacher,
Yes.
I look at how do you intend to unify the divided country. Let's talk about
Yes,
the importance of
yes,
unity
Dr.
in this
Dr.
nation.
Kenneth Kaunda. Yeah, when you mention unity, we should make reference to that legend of the world. Yeah, one Zambia, one nation. Multi-ethnic, but one people. And that's the way we have lived. You know, and these declarations of Zambia as a Christian nation, they matter. Yeah, because we draw our living spirit from our Lord. Yeah, the spirit of love. You know, man east, man north. Remember the words of Dr. Kaunda. Yeah, we are one. Yeah, so we should remain like that. You know, Luvales, Chevas, Bisas, we are one people. But you see, it's good you're mentioning that because the other camp, the camp you mentioned, they are saying in defending yourself when you're attacked, attack back. That is war. You see now, elections are not war, Pastor Chiluba. They're a competition of ideas. Remember our Lord Jesus Christ. You know, he said, when you are hit here, you should give the other cheek. He didn't say an eye for an eye, punch. No, but Hitchlerman group was saying punch for punch. No, please.
But
It's good the commander-in-chief has put soldiers on the
yeah,
on the street. And
Again-
look, now we have peace now.
yeah, again,
Yeah.
Dr. Banda,
Yes.
you see, when we mention,
Yeah.
okay, for example, President Hichilema is not here
No.
to counteract
Who you should invite him to
or
this,
to say
station.
some of the things or verify the information.
It can't be everywhere where we go.
That's right.
Correct.
So my only concern
Yes.
is that these divisions are getting deeper on the basis of parties. PF, UPND, Socialist Party, MMD. I don't think this is the way we should.
So the mandate for keeping this country united, this land of work and joy in unity, is with president. And that is Dr.
His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa.
He has the required instruments of power to ensure that we are united and that we are peaceful. Zambia is a sanctuary of refugees. All nationalities are here. We even have white Zambians here. You see, they are now part of this country. Yeah, so it requires leadership. So when leaders of opposition political parties call for punch, it worries us. So Dr. Lungu, he is the guard, the national guard number one of this Republic of Zambia. And he must ensure, and it should start with you and me, believing in God, Christianity, yeah, the national values and principles. Because you see, when you believe in God, he says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, if you truly love your neighbor, you won't hate them. So that is preemptive. So let's start with teaching our children these values and principles. This is why Dr. Lungu and team, they set up the Ministry of Religious Affairs and National Guidance, so that the moral of the country, you know, the spirit of the country is founded on faith in God.
But not to sound like I am remote. I don't live in Zambia. You know, I have personally witnessed some of the ruthless people, cadres,
Yes.
who are PF,
Right.
you know, and UPND and all these parties, because if you remember, I don't know how much you watch my broadcast, I was almost hit into at crossroads by the PF cadres. They were coming from...
Was it because they knew you, or?
No. They
were
were
just
coming
unruly.
from the graveyard, this
Right. Oh, the day they were burying their
cemetery.
comrades.
No, some time back,
Oh, okay,
about
okay.
some months ago.
Right.
It was my right to go. But the
But they
way
just drove
they
past.
came, I couldn't believe that. Thanks be to God, there was no vehicle behind. I reversed, and they howled insults at me and shouted abominables, and they took both the lanes, the left and the right, kicking everyone. I said, I don't think this is the way. You know, so when we are dealing with these national matters,
So,
my
Pastor
doctor...
Chiluba, that is not the norm. Allow me, on behalf of the party, to apologize to you and any citizen who has been so treated. Just yesterday, the Secretary General of the PF was on ZNBC. It should be yesterday or the other day, Interactive Forum, and he echoed the words of Dr. Lungu, the Republican president, that we do not condone indiscipline, unruly, uncouth behavior. There will be moments, episodes like that, but that is not encouraged. That is not condoned. And should you see that happening, quickly report it to the law enforcement authorities. And those that have done so in the past, they have seen PF members arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. That has happened before. So Dr. Lungu and team, sir, do not condone that kind of behavior. And whenever we see it, we should nip it in the bud. That's not the norm, sir.
May I ask you, Dr.
Yes, Pastor Chiluba.
Banda,
Yes.
how do you intend to work together, to bridge together? Because if we allow these things to go on, where we are standing on two platforms, UPND, PF, UP, you know, when you and your children who are innocent, and my children who are innocent, they are playing at school, they don't even know that we are enemies. But the moment you tell your children to say, Pastor Chiluba is like this, and I tell my children, Dr. Banda is like this, from that moment, we'll create enmity, and our children will be on each other's throats. How do we, as parents, PF, UPND, how do we intend to harmonize this nation?
So we keep appealing to Dr. Lungu, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, because the mandate to ensure that we are all law-abiding is with him. Just a few days ago, I am told the UPND killed people in Kanyama compound. Now I keep warning him. I keep telling him that our colleagues the other side are behaving like a sect, like a cult. They are not reasonable. They are incapable of rational thought. You see, they take it they have won. So I tell him that, you see, when he wins on Thursday, you see, he's winning on Thursday, and you should ask me why. You see, maybe before I forget, I should say it. You see, when the time came to register, to get NRCs, what the PF did was to notify all the constituency officials to get those that were in their branches and those that were partial to the party to get NRCs. They got them. The records are there. Then phase 2, when it was time to register, the same officials took the people for registration, voter registration. So you will not, when you look at the statistics, if you look at 2016 voters roll and this one, the 2021, the registration of voters increased in 7 provinces where the PF is strong, the strongholds. Where the UPND is strong, or said to be strong, in southern, western, and northwestern, the registration reduced. It went down. So the PF can confidently say that the numbers are already there. And this is partly why there's a school of thought that says UPND is spoiling for a government of national unity by starting with the voters' roll. They say, no, it's not reliable. The ECZ questioning its validity and believability. The police are not COVID. They're pointing at nearly everything. So on the basis of numbers alone, the PF is winning. On the basis of performance, no electricity. Now we have electricity. Bumper harvest. Now we are a leading exporter of grain on the continent. Just in the past 2-3 months, Zambia has exported over 80,000 tons of millet meal. More dollars have come into the country. Over 100,000 tons of maize. More dollars have come into the country.
Dr. Banda, let me say this.
Yes.
Those statistics are very good to people like you, who read and understand the manifesto and all this.
So chimeneti lukambira tere apusa nchakuti ngati taodetsa monga mwachitsanzo tinalibe magetsi koma yaliko lomwe. Zambia now is energy sufficient. We have about 2,800 megawatts of electricity. Now we will begin kuodetsa magetsi kumaiko akunja yeje magetsi yakapita chimene nanena muchimanga chirupita kale. So magetsi lomba tikamboodetsa madollars yalova muno mziko kwacha idzalimba mitengo ya vintu itsika. So mwachitsanzo abusa, under Dr. Lungu and his team, just in the last 24 hours or so, Zambia has secured $1.3 billion from the IMF. Special drawing rights. Zambia is a member. Now the IMF has seen that, the whole world has been hit. The economy, the global economy is not stable. So to stabilize the global economy, member states should be given support based on their quotas. So Zambia is going to receive in the next few days. So chimenetine na busin chakuti, when the $1.3 billion comes in the next few days mu economy yatwi, ma dollars yaza kala mbwembwe monga mbalani. So aba bantu ambiri ma Zambians ma business yao ama order ma spare parts from Dubai, cell phones from Dubai, kapena, more from Botswana, places we import. A lot of small to medium scale entrepreneurs, they do that. So they had better start placing orders now because the dollar will be available in the next few days. Remember I talked about 2 years, the cashew nuts and the 3.6 billion coming. That is in 2-3 years. But in the next few days, the reserves, the foreign reserves at the Bank of Zambia, for Zambia, will double. We will double, sir. Utanthauza kuti kwacha idzakhala yolimba. Mtengo wakazinga imene timati saladi udzatsika. Wayamba kale utsika.
Dr. Banda,
mtengo wa iviniva busa. People nchimene nikunena kuti mzako ngati aluchita. Hayi. Samchotsapo yayi. Ababena alulonjeza vinthu vachitika kale abusa. I was talking about the manifesto here of the UPND. Number 8, point number 8, they are saying they are going to end load shedding. Abusa, nuzena abusa. Kodi ikaliko. Load shedding ikaliko. Akulibe. Tiambo udetsa magitsi romba. So no, a UPND ukakamba now, njifuka chake pachani manena kuti, I keep telling Dr. Lungu that you see, when they lose, when these elections they lose, they will not accept that they have lost. Now you were worried about peace and violence. Yeah? Now you see, when somebody is behaving as if rabid, as if under a trance, under a spell or something, what do, sir? You either pray for them, so Dr. Lungu is doing the right thing. The police on their own, perhaps, maybe they need support. So he has brought the other forces now to keep this country united, peaceful, without violence. And it's working.
There is a saying, Dr. Banda, and you know Bemba so well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so surprised that you haven't even brought some of the sayings you have stolen from our province.
Well, I know we know kulya kuchinsali kwesuna kwena kuli.
That's right. Now.
So tutila kwati, for example, tutila ukwali insoke.
Takwafu ile muntu.
Now in Chinyanja we say wakutsina kutu ni mnansi.
What's that?
He who pinches your ear. It's similar to wakweva something in something like that. You see, kalinima ke sika kugwambuna. When you are with your mother, you will never be in danger, because your mother will always keep the danger away. So now that's my role. I was there.
Now, Dr. Banda, I'm talking about, there is a saying in Bemba.
Yes.
Ati tabebo mukulumu nobe, ati nde kuma. Tawishive, I can't come and say, Banda, nde miuma. I don't know your strength.
Right.
You don't know my strength.
Right.
So, the right word is to say tualalwa.
Okay.
When you say tualalwa,
then you are giving the benefit of the doubt to your opponent.
No, it simply means the one with strength should carry the day.
Okay.
Not telling your friend. It's like two weightlifters with 6 packs each, and they are looking almost like twins.
Right.
You can't tell that this one will beat the other one.
Right.
That kind of thing. So when you are in politics also, like the Bemba say, Tabebo mukulumu nobi ati narakuma, you say tualaro. Dr. Banda, on our former Republican president, Dr. Rupia Banda, he brought some statements which he urged, he advised the leaders participating in elections to accept the results of defeat. And he also talked about respecting the principles of one man, one vote, and all this, saying no one should rig these elections. That's what Dr. Banda said. And to a common person there, like our father, Dr. Rupia Banda, said that, what would you say to say that whoever loses should accept the result?
Yeah, this is what I was saying a short while ago, that there is a political party which will not accept. So it's timely that one of the fathers of our republic, of our nation, has said these things. Abani makolo adaziona tsono makolo ngati yalupereka uphungu tizimvetsera. And so now you see Dr. Lungu is the president, and he should take heed. And you see, when he says one man, one vote, no rigging, let's have faith in the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Yeah, because that's our Electoral Commission. It's ours. We can't cry foul now when there's only less than 48 hours before voting.
How prepared are you in this election? Have you done your campaign
Yes,
very well?
yes. The preparedness is the work that's been done. So you see, if you allow me, to tilo muchinshi wetole lifumo. If you allow me to say that
I should
on
not
this
have
station.
allowed you on
Oh,
this
all right.
station.
Apologies.
But,
Apologies,
yeah.
Abusa. But evidence. That's why there are slogans like Sontapa Shele. Because we had no power, we now have. Education was costly, cost was a barrier to accessing it, and also school places were limited. Over 700 schools have been built. Bawala and incidental, I should mention this, President Lungu and team, they have built more schools in Southern Province than in Eastern Province. People might think he's a tribalist, he's taking development to Eastern. No, he has built more where they didn't vote for him. So that illustrates that he's the president of all Zambians. You see, I've just come from the Eastern Province. There's a place near Mozambique there called Tafelansoni. They would travel very long distance to Chadiza Day. But the villagers are happy, They're saying, ay, lungu tiwapatsa apitirize. Chifukwa vana lomba, skulu ilipa fupi. There's now Tafelansoni Day School there.
Dr. Banda, I know
Yes,
this is your program.
Yes.
You're just using this platform as your station.
Yeah. So I was just answering, Pastor, what you were saying, but how prepared are you? So on the basis of performance, you see, the PF has performed. Look, debt relief happens to countries. It's been given to civil servants. That is in addition to the threshold of income tax having been taken to 5,000. You understand me? And then you see these subsidies which the government continues to give. For example, FISP is a subsidy. There is removal of import duty on fuels. That's a subsidy. Students at tertiary facilities, we had only 2 universities, now we have 7. And in all these facilities, if you are pursuing a course which is important in the 7th or 8th National Development Plan, you can access a loan, a revolving fund. So there are all these subsidies that are being given to citizens. Social cash transfer. Ndalama zimene nkalamba zinalibe. I was in the Chanje area there. I found these old headmen saying, chiambire echo sinalandireko njinga yayi. Koma lomba headman aliyense ali njinga. Komanso kumabwera tuja tung'ono pa mwezi. So the performance is access to health care. There's now the National Health Insurance Agency with over 1 million subscribers. Before I forget, Pastor Chilua, every year the PF will graduate 100,000 farmers from peasant status to commercial status, meaning that the FISP will no longer be given to the same recipients. There will be new entrants because the others are, start, you don't continue to push. That's the idea behind FISP. But you wanted to say something.
I wanted to say,
Yes.
I want to say this,
Yes.
that this is your program.
Right. It's our program.
It's our program.
Yours and
Would
mine.
you allow me to open up the lines?
Yeah.
So that people can ask?
Yes.
Because, you know,
Let's interact with the
Pastor
people. Yes.
Chiluba, not being a seasoned journalist, he may have forgotten certain questions.
Yeah.
Play that first. You
Ati
compose it.
kuchokera kumongu kufikira kuchipata tirufuna lungu wanzeru. Now you see, I didn't compose it. I found citizens singing it. Kuchokera kunakonde
Okay.
kufikira kujoma tirufuna lungu wanzeru.
I thought you composed it. Mr. Director, please give us one song by the PF, and after that the phones will be opened. The text messages
Will come.
Yeah. So that
we'll
if
respond.
in case Pastor Chiluba didn't ask the right questions or whatever,
Let the people speak.
this is not a planned
Staged performance.
performance.
It's as organic as it is.
Absolutely.
Natural.
And I didn't have the lady down. I wanted it to flow so that Dr. Banda can ask.
Yeah.
So give us one song, and then we'll ask the people to make their comments.
Right.
Kuchokela kumongo kufikira kuchipata tikufuna lungu wanzeru. Oh, kuchokela kunakonde kufikira kuchoma tikufuna lungu wanzeru. Kuchokela kumongo kufikira kuchipata atikonzela sipatala zambili lungu wanzeru. Atikonzela magesi mulimi tiyanganeza miseu masiku. Atikonzela sipatala zambili lungu wanzeru.
Whereas some opposition leaders are merely promising to fix this and that, President Lungu and team have either already fixed these things or they continue to do so. Agriculture.
Etieno kuma kukuru sena una mwaka bakolo pe. Etieno yonayo beshi betitunu detaba ite.
Bali mochibe, bola na ikosa. Bali mochibe, naleno na ikosa.
Lungu na baza, chagwa na bomba. Lungu na baza, chagwa na bomba. Umwiko kwa mala isala ile kwa lungu na bomba. Umwiko kwa mala isala ile kwa lungu na bomba. I send I cleaner, I send I pukuta. Ka opposition akapanda, ka opposition akapandula. Yabwelanda, we are good unto once. Yabwelanda, we are good unto once. Kanusa sasa inyanga, alungu anasebenza kale. Kanusa sasa inyanga, alungu anasebenza kale. Lo 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 lo. On your masses at go. Uluvilo never could take a shaboka with the experience. Then the competition in a chagwa where Fichagwa Chitawe to one shade. Think if you want to will away Mubika Shibowe Webo. Illegally, I see them promises, but reality. Uri wenana menzone kupindi mukachabe. Will always have win away war. I could get a masanga Tony. Wato peka peka wewe tia nimbo na junu na ye junu na ye junu na futi junu na ye junu na futi kata kwata fe umo lungu ni umo bosi to kwata fe umo lungu ni umo yeah. Lungu ni bosale, yeah. Lungu ni bosale, junu na yeah. Junu na futi. Amina wele poima. Junu na futi. Amina leno, kala ipure yo. Amina leno, kala ipure yo. Lo 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 lo
Dear Camnet TV viewers, I must say that the lines are now open and you can send your messages, you can send your phone calls. The lines are out there for you to see, and may God bless you. Let me say this as Camnet TV viewers. Respect to our guests, respect to the people you want to talk about or against, it is demanded of you. Remember that this is a great nation and you were born for greatness. Let's maintain that greatness, love and unity. May God bless this great nation of Zambia. In the studio, I have my guest, Dr. Kanisha
So before we get to the submission from
yes, sir.
I just want to say, you see, I've just come from the Eastern Garden.
Okay.
And they said, someone is going to go for the, it's 800 and
Mm.
so I said, well, inflow of dollars into the country for such will appreciate, and the price of imported fertilizer will come down. But in addition to that, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda set up the nitrogen chemistry of Zambia. It's got the capacity to nurture the fertilizer as it comes. And a few weeks ago, Dr. Lungu and team, they recapitalized NCZ. And now there is a promise to even remodel the plants. So very soon will be again a fertilizer, a manure, if you like.
It wants to be
sufficient country. And we'll be exporting.
So we want to be imported.
Well, perhaps the private sector, public and private sector. There will not be any limitation to imports. But you see, there will be now competition between that kind of fertilizer and the locally produced. And mtengo wa fertilizer udzatsika. And the people there said, ngati mwatero. Ndiye kuti aleke nalonga tani. Apitirize tione mmene adzachitire. Nati kaili tili pamodzi nawo. So you will ask me later. So this will happen. And you see, mtengo wa ufa mwachitsanzo. Kale tinali na
What's ufa?
Oh, meal.
Oh, okay.
Imgaiwa inde chakudya ya unga. Watilo unga.
So when you say infa, nde unfa kwa tinimfa.
Ufa is
Okay.
ufa. Yeah, that's maize meal or meal. We used to have national milling before it was privatized and sort of. But now we have again public milling plants. For example, Monza there. There is a big milling plant there. That's
for the government?
Yes, for the people of Zambia. And the Zambia National Service was just given some money to test run it. When we start doing that, again mtengo wa ufa udzatsika. Tsono chachikulu chimene vanthu afunika udziva kubwaloko nchakuti chitukuko abusa sichibwera mwadzidzidzi ya. Chibwera pang'ono. Zija zinachitika kale zionetsa mafutsi lomba. Kafiwe Gorge lower power project was started years ago. But now it is operational. We are energy sufficient. We'll start exporting electricity. More dollars will come into the country. The per capita income will improve. Poverty will reduce, if not end. Alungu ni gululao. Aluchita busa. Oh, sacho tsapo yai.
Dr. Banda, you mentioned that first that the PF government has withdrawn most of these contracts by the foreigners, and you are now going to empower the Zambians.
No, not all of them. We have not withdrawn.
Maybe let's take up this.
Okay.
You should put it clearly so that. Yes. What's your name and where you calling us from?
Yeah, this is Derek calling from Solwezi.
You are who?
Derek.
Derek.
Yes.
From Solwezi.
Yes.
Derek, please go ahead and contribute to this program.
I know Pastor you have blessed, and I say to the Christian Fund.
You said
The first thing I want to do is this. The Bible says, two shall only walk together in the enlightenment. I heard Mr. Christian Fund say, at one point, the church says to him, say, just go back because you don't belong here. And you have seen and you have been hearing this, like the members from here making some first remarks against the youth and state members. But him saying, no, we should keep this country on love, unity. But he is going again to mingle with these people who are tribal remarks against the European in life. Like, I can give an example like the family. These are the people who say we should work together. But he moved from one side because at one point he was going to say, go back because you don't belong here. Please let him at least help us to understand there what it means. Moving from this life, what you stand against, what else some enemies of Christ. So all the things we are paying to, we are one that one. These leaders who are responsible. The problem of theirs, they put themselves first. They don't put the country first, no. They put themselves first. After they put themselves first, they go and say, what should I do? When these people are in power, they forget about the electorate who vote for them, who put them in those offices, who have those powers to make even these laws in behalf of the majority landlord. At the end, they don't start meeting down, say, no, we are here, no, we are doing that.
Will you, in the interest of time, Derek, make your question, because there are many people who want to, what is your question, so that we allow more callers? Oh, it's cut. But you heard Dr. Banda, the few remarks that he made?
Yes, two things that I picked from what he said. That where I am now, in the PF, there are some remarks that are tribal. I didn't get the specific remarks.
He talked about also Dr. Kambwili
Dr.
making
Kambwili was,
tribal remarks.
if you remember, Dr. Kambwili was accused of doing that. And the ECZ suspended him. And they met. They met, the ECZ and Dr. Kambwili. And the ECZ understood that Dr. Chishimba Kambwili was not planting the seed of tribalism. He was not fomenting division. He was actually campaigning against, he was exposing tribalism and campaigning against, saying that no.
Let's
we
pick up
must
this
truly be one Zambia, one
nation.
So Dr. Kambwili should be understood.
Okay, let's pick up this.
He is not for tribalism, he's actually against it.
Okay, hello?
Hello, Papa Zua.
Yes, sir?
My name is Christopher Lungu.
Christopher Lungu.
Calling you from Kanyama.
Please go ahead and speak to the nation.
Now, Pastor, I want you to go for Dr. Banda to actually the prophet in them what Usko Sham Ishimbara Chiroko. Can you tell me what I understand? What is it? Thank you, Pastor.
Wait, before you hang, what's your question?
My question is, I want you to tell him that Usko Sham Ishimbara Chiroko. Can you explain to him? Because I'm not the man.
Tubushuku shemene chimbara chilocha. So aba shemeni banani muleba ine muleba ba.
No, Banda will.
that is thank you, Christopher Lungu.
He's taken part.
Yeah, so
making that statement.
Yeah,
so thank you for allowing him to do
that. I cannot interpret those.
Yeah,
as a
I
pastor,
don't know the context.
I don't understand the context. Give us some messages. Sorry, Mr. Christopher Lungu. Whatever you meant, I do not understand the context. I must speak from what I know, or where are you basing that saying? So you were saying...
And then he said that, that's Derek from Solwezi.
Derek, yeah.
That when leaders assume office, they think only of themselves.
Themselves, yeah.
Yeah, but I have spent perhaps 60 minutes here illustrating just how selfless Dr. Lungu has been. He has moved us from an energy deficient country to one which is secure today. He has moved us from a food insecure country to one which is recording bumper harvest today. And Zambia today, Abusa Muliapa, is one of the leading grain exporters on the continent of Africa. It's a fact. You know, the educational facilities we now have are a desirable destination for foreigners.
Let's speak up this call,
Yes,
Doctor.
yes.
Oh, it's cut.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm a lecturer at the University of Lusaka. There are students from Uganda, from Namibia, from Zimbabwe, from Malawi
Hello?
that come to learn here.
Let's pick up this call. Hello, good evening. Twachoma mwachoma bwanji na bove. Ni banda ni baitana. Ba? Babili kuchawama. Kambani.
Hapa nizambira wandala wabanda walamba kuti bana kuita makampani zi takanya yongano zawaiti ndawena ngwa soma kwa mazao kama hizi na imoti kile sauti ni vive ebele
Afunsa bwino. Kaili na chimia.
Mpaka majesi na imoti ndio aiki wana kuita makampani.
Okay, thank you, Billy, for that question.
Billy is made a good
To wires, yeah.
Yeah, you see, you know why we Billy should not. Chifukwa nchiani dzina la muntu modzi lichulidwa. Chifukwa chakuti uyu muntu alufuna kukhala mtsogoleri wa dziko ka. Koma umambala uja unachitika sitiivala iya. Koma nakuza na Abusa kuti ni wanali vambiri sanali yekha iye anali mmodzi mwa gulu lija linaononga linabera vanthu defrauding the citizens through what happened that time.
Yeah.
So what Billy wants or needs is an honest commission of inquiry, so that Billy knows exactly who was involved, who did what. And did they do it with the interest of the nation at heart or with their own? So Billy is right. You see, now Billy should know that we're mentioning one name because this man who was involved in those economic crimes of that time is now seeking the ultimate throne of the Republic of Zambia. You see, he wants to, and you see,
in line with
yes,
what Billy has said, Dr. Banda. This thing happened 30 years ago, 1991.
Yes.
Why hasn't there been an inquiry commission? Why haven't they prosecuted President Hakainde?
Well, partly it's because the PF have been governing for a short period of time. You see, in 2011, there was still MMD, which was there from 1991.
So MMD didn't say this?
Oh, well, look, they are the ones that spearheaded the mess. You understand me? So it's difficult for a criminal to investigate himself, if you like. But this issue under the PF has taken on, new significance because the past never goes away, Pastor. It never goes away.
Let's
if we are to solve the problem of Zambia or the problems of this country, we must get into the habit of understanding the genesis, the root cause. Where did we go wrong? And that privatization mess was a big economic disaster.
Let's pick some text messages if they are there, Mr. Director, or people calling and YPF not paid agro dealer. We are crying for many years. Now they then expect, I don't know whether it's expect or expert, has to give them a vote. Do you understand this question?
Yes, Dr. I do. Yes, I do.
I don't seem to understand it.
Is a dealer in agricultural commodities. and there's a contract, you see, that the farmers can collect these inputs from the dealers, and then the state will pay the dealers. Yeah, so the problem is not everywhere. These are operational difficulties, challenges. So some agro dealers have been paid, others have not been paid. So we need to understand this particular issue, why this particular dealer has not been paid. And then we would answer it better.
Okay. Hello? Good evening. Hello, good evening.
But you heard that Ramco's workers, those Ramco's, you know, the mine there, again, because of the privatization mess, they were left
Ramco's is in Russia?
In Russia, yes.
Yeah.
Their benefits, which have been outstanding for a while, have begun to be paid now. So even this agro dealer, if we understand why, this is an operational glitch, the payment can be made. And perhaps you should help him, just let's get the details. We communicate with him away from this station and facilitate the resolution of that problem.
Okay, I know there is that number can be traced.
Correct.
Dr. Banda, help me. How do you intend to seal the holes through which our dollar escapes? Because during Kaunda, our father, Dr. Kaunda, there was exchange control.
Yeah.
People come here from Zimbabwe, Malawi, they come and buy dollars, and they go out.
Yeah, how we do that, sir, is what Dr. Lungu and team are doing, shifting the emphasis back to Zambians. The economy should be in your hands, sir. 80% of this economy should be in the hands of citizens. Zambia, in the next 5-10 years, should have not less than 1,000 millionaires in dollars.
The next year?
5 to 10 years. And you should be one of them with
Of
your
course.
with your avocados. You understand me? So this is how we are going to stem the bleeding of dollars out of the country. Exactly what this manifesto is saying. Zambians first. Quarrying, Zambians only. Logging, Zambians only. Block making, Zambians only. And now there will be no importation of desks. Remember I said 700 schools have been built. Now there's need for furniture in these schools. Now the furniture previously was being imported from China. There will be a ban on importation of furniture. Now furniture will come from Nakadoli Market, from Guras here in Mandevu compound, from Kalingalinga. You understand me?
You've touched one important thing, Doctor.
Yes.
I don't understand why you allow foreigners to be making blocks. Surely, can't a Zambian make a block?
Yeah. So now, I told you that...
So it's in your manifesto
It's here, yes. I told you that development is a gradual thing. It's step by step. And over time, policies change. So now, not only block making, but barber shops. We can't allow the Chinese to come here and start cutting hair. No, Zambians only. Saloons, wikatunsie twanyowani kumaso, kutazimaya ziwoneka bwino. Zambians only. Gold mining, Zambians only. Transportation, Zambians only. So now, this is how we stem the outflow of dollars. Because you see, if the economy is in private hands, and not only private, but in foreigners' hands, what I told you is what happens. We buy from ShowPrite, from Choppies. We buy blocks from a Lebanese or a Somalian.
Let's speak up.
When they make the money, Abusa,
it goes out.
It goes to their country.
I know.
A foreigner will never develop a foreign land.
No, it can't. Hello, good evening. Oh, What is the secret between debt swap and why has the president done it during election time? Is it because, why has he done it during the election time? Is it because he wants our votes? Yours, Joseph Mukanda in Mwinlunga.
Yes, yes, I heard that. He says, why do it now? Why not do it now? You know, when you're governing, every day is work day. Yeah, you can't stop developing the country just because elections are coming. Look, elections can even be postponed, you know, even cancelled. But development cannot. Development can't wait. The debt swap, which he has referred to, was an initiative of the unions. You know, the civil servants have representatives. You know, there was a salary increment early on in the year, about 8% or so. So the unions said it's a process of collective discussion, bargaining it's called. 8% was given. But the union said, but isn't there something else that you could do? And over 60,000 civil servants were indebted. You know, and the money, the salaries were going nearly in total to debt repayment. Yeah, and they said, Titandizeni. It was their initiative. So this being a caring government, inabweramu boma kuti boma yanganepo titandizeni. This is now how now you see now they're getting full salaries now. Yes, and now the payment of the debt, because they have to pay the debt later on in future, will have to be agreed, you know, agreed upon between themselves and the government. But there is relief now. Yeah, so that vacuum, you know, that shortage of money in their pockets has been removed. It's been cushioned. There is relief, immense relief amongst the civil servants. You know, I interact with a number of them, teachers, police officers, nurses. Akuti koma apa alungu balasa chifukwa inkongole izi zinali kutivuta. Yeah, apa vatitandiza. And you see vatikanka, so you know, in Nyanja we say lende nukankana. So alungu atikanka, elende is a swing.
Oh,
a swing. Yeah, when you sit on it, somebody pushes you. Yeah, so when you get off it, the pusher gets on it and they push you now. So lende no mzako kakuti konzu, similar to my own papa.
My own papa, naine nkakupapa.
There you go. So alungu atikanka na fensotiva kanke apitirize. And you know, these are the opposition political parties are threatening to not to pay. They're saying, no, just change the interest rates. But that's not direct relief, because when you alter the interest rates, and you see the rates will fall when the dollars start coming into the country. There are many factors behind it.
When the dollar, the kwacha picks up against the dollar, why are the prices still remaining the same in some cases? Which means Zambian people are still being ripped off.
It's gradual. But the other day, I went into a shop in Chingola there. I was in Chingola about a month ago, about 2 weeks ago actually. And I said, let's look at prices in here. We found that cooking oil, 5 liters, I think it was Ole, it was previously at 240 kwacha, somewhere there. We found it at 180, somewhere there. So the prices are reducing gradually. And with this $1.3 billion, which is coming in the next few days, there will be a precipitous fall in prices. And Ivantu, tieni mtsanga pa tivote, alungu apite, tivote. Let's forget about elections. Let's look forward to $1.3 billion. Double. The foreign reserves will double in the Bank of Zambia. This is relief which the IMF is giving to all the countries of the world. Yeah, member states. Because COVID-19 has damaged economies. The consumption of goods and services in the world has reduced. And that has affected the global economic stability. So to stabilize it, This is what IMF is doing now, giving support to member states. Zambia in a few and in Chimene Rukamba pano kuti awali nama businesses yo order vintu choka kumaikwa kunja, start placing the orders now, because the dollar will be cheaper very soon, and those that had stopped even importing cars will start now because the dollar will be cheaper.
What about Doc? How will you ensure that a common man who doesn't import, who is not in business, how will you ensure that they have meal, they have enough money to send their children to school?
Yeah. So you see now, it's a number of factors, Abusa. For example, when the duty on importation of fuel is removed, the cost of production of goods goes down. So the common man benefits. Now, if you're a civil servant, for example, on one hand, there's debt relief. On the other hand, there is a subsidy to education, which the state has given you. Now, the school fee is no longer 2,500. It's only 200 kwacha per day. So there is relief here, debt relief. There's a subsidy this side. You understand me? There's a bumper harvest. There are milling plants coming. There are dollars coming into the country. The kwacha strengthens. Mitengo itzika. We are food sufficient.
Okay, let's pick up this call. Okay. Hello? Pastor Chiluba, yes, Joseph Mwenda, from where? Please go ahead and contribute to the nation.
Yeah, my question is, I just want to ask Dr. Wanda, is about why is it some section of society or some part of the province, they vote for their own, somebody who comes from their own province. Then when somebody talks about that, it becomes tribalism. Why is it so? I think Dr. Wanda can help you to answer that so that we might able to understand these things.
You are, I don't know, you are saying, Mr. Mwenda, why is it that some political parties or individuals?
Yes, like for the political parties, for instance, what is happening in certain political parties, where in certain society they vote for someone who comes from the province. Then people like want to talk about that, it becomes tribalism.
Okay, Dr. Banda.
Yeah, he's
saying why is it
Mwenda,
Joseph Mwenda? Why is it that
a case in point, Abusa, is Dundumwezi. This is what he's talking about, where PF gets, for example, 0 or 1, and then the other party gets all the votes. So he's saying now when other parties say, no, that is not a good way of voting. You see, those people now in that region or in that political party, they get sensitive. They say, no, no, this is tribalism. I'll tell you something, Abusa. Me, I was very close to Hichilema. Hichilema, says, had I not been a Tonga, I would be president today. So me, I say, but you, what is wrong with being Tonga? You should stop saying that. I don't know what he thinks about Tongas. Had I not been a Tonga, I would be president today. Where after I left UPND, I met Sylvia Marcel at Choppy's there, Ibex Hill. And I went to her, I said, you tell your president to stop saying that. He says, had I not been Tonga, I would be president. And Sylvia says, yes, he says that. So I said, no, but it's self-defeating because he will not stop being Tonga. Now, hang on a bit, Pastor. Now, you see, this question is about voting patterns. Where do they come from, these voting patterns? The same man is on record. One day, one of these people they'll come with a voice note. He's telling fellow Tongas, the solution is to vote for a Tonga president. Really? And then just a month ago or two, campaigning here in this election. A party official in Kafue, a lady, says the trouble, the trouble with you is, you see, you don't vote for fellow Tongas. You see, if you're Tonga and the Tonga stands, vote for a Tonga. Now, you see, some of those Tongas, they listen to these leaders of theirs, and that's how they vote. You see, now this fellow, Mwenda, is saying that you never come back. Kuja wakamba kuti ni tribalism. But Mwenda is affronted by this kind of behavior, where you see, you vote based on ethnic lines. But Dr. Lungabus, I told you, he has built more schools in Southern Province than in Eastern Province. Tundumwezi had no power, electricity. You know, there is a road there which was a problem. It's been graded, vehicles are moving. And I saw ladies on television saying, we used to take hours on this road, but now we take minutes.
You know, Dr. Banda, as a pastor,
Yes, sir.
this is my view.
Yes.
As a pastor,
Yes.
it really saddens me because me as a pastor, I've got Tongas, Lozis, Bembas, all the tribes
Yes,
are here.
Yes.
So if I can raise a voice against HH,
Yeah.
I can raise a voice against Dr. Banda
Yeah.
or Nevas Mumba,
Yeah.
or I raise against the Socialist Party member, it doesn't serve me well.
Yeah,
That is my personal
so we
view.
We are not raising these voices in vain.
Yeah.
We are saying these things because these individuals want the national mantle. Yeah.
Dr. Banda,
Yes.
is let the spirit of one Zambia, one nation prevail.
And that spirit of one Zambia, one nation, sir, draws its inspiration from Christianity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Zambia is a Christian nation.
Do to others what you would like them to do for you.
So when leaders say punch for punch, ask them, are they Christian? I said it. We inculcate these values. They are in the Republican Constitution. Love, tolerance, they are there. You know, in our children. We grow up, like you said, that neighbor, don't speak ill of the neighbor. Let's live as one, loving one another. That's a very good foundation for nation building. So Christianity, these declarations are not just on paper.
No.
We must live them. And you see, yes, the 18th of October is day of prayer. We should
And
pray every
fasting.
day.
Yeah.
Of October is day of prayer. We should
And
pray every
fasting.
day
Yeah.
and reconcile every day. Yes, that's just symbolic. That day is symbolic. But our culture should have its grounding in faith in God, in Christianity.
Well, Dr. Banda, let's pick up some few
more.
text messages
Oh, okay.
before we
Right,
wind up.
right.
Give us some text messages. Dr. Banda, chicken 120, ubunga 140. Give me a reason to give you a party vote or whatever. Why should he vote for you when ubunga is there? That's what he's saying. Would you have an answer to that?
Now you see, it says Unga is you say it 40? Yeah, 130 somewhere there.
120.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. In the Congo, it's 750 kwacha. In Malawi, it's 420 kwacha. In Zimbabwe, it's 620 kwacha. There is not a single Zambian who has crossed the border to look for food. But Zimbabweans are coming here for
To
food.
buy.
Yes.
And the Congolese.
Malawians are coming here for food. You know, I was with Mpezani just 2 weeks, a few days ago actually. You know, we've been traversing the country a lot. He told me, he said, you know what? Kale, timapereka chimanga ku Malawi. Chifukwa, the price was better there. Chimanga is maize. But now the Malawians are bringing their maize here because the price is better here. So no, no, poipa,
Paita.
maitana busa. What I want to assure my fellow citizens is that tiliko bwino. The crisis is everywhere.
Like you are saying in Bemba Tumwana Shenda. Atashanyi no kunaye.
Now, natukwata kesu nomba. Umwana oshenda. Tatashanyina. Bafisu maefya chita.
Yeah.
You got that? So you see, these Zambians, they should go to Zimbabwe and Namibia and Congo and Malawi. Malawi, a tray of eggs is 100 kwacha. Here it is 50, 55, somewhere there. Yes. So, for example, I talked about cashew nuts. In 2 to 3 years' time, $3.6 billion will come. But in a few days' time, $1.3 billion will come. And I used the word, I said, the prices will precipitously fall.
But these cashew nuts also, they're being given by foreigners who are giving us, who are this?
No, this particular...
Cooperatives, so that when they harvest, that money goes out?
No. These households are citizens. Over 40,000 in Western Province alone, households, under the management of IDC. Yeah. So look now. You see, 6 million trees translates into about 315,000 tons when we start harvesting. Now, at $9,000 per ton, we get about $2.8 billion. Now, you divide that by 40,000 households. If that money will go directly to these households, it's $40,000 per household per year. Now, $40,000 in kwacha, that's how much? The current rate at 18. So that's the future. That's where we're going, Pastor Chiluba. Yeah, these prices will fall. Chitukuko, chibwera pangono. Ababena, Abusa, they have no promises. They're saying, we want change. Now, change is not a promise. The PF has delivered, and it is taking the economy back to where it belongs, in the citizens' hands. Do not derail this development trend. Dr. Lungu and the PF are on the right track. This 1.3 billion I talked about, it's going into the economic recovery program to bring those prices down, to make Zambians richer. And this is happening in the next few days.
After the elections, Dr. Banda, I will call you.
You call me?
To come and let's
talk
come
again,
and
yes.
talk and debate.
Yes.
I see that we are going into news time. 2 hours has just
so
flown
my
like
final
this.
words are that we are one Zambia, one nation, Abusa. Atonga, Lozi, we are one people. And personally, I want local languages in parliament. We are not English. We are Zambian. Luvale, Kikaon, they should be spoken there. We are one Zambia, one nation. But I want to appeal to Dr. Lungu that you see, there are so many PF, I look into the camera. There are so many PF councillor candidates that we have fielded. Dr. Lungu, you will not win all of them. You lose some of them. There are many parliamentary candidates we fielded. You will lose some of them. But there is one seat, Dr. Lungu, that you mustn't lose. And that seat is yours. These people of Zambia will vote for you. Okay? Us here and many people like me, we've done our part. We have sold you, we have reminded people of the many developmental projects that you've done. Just a few days ago, you were opening airports and all that. We've done our part. Now it is time, with your power in your hands, to do yours. Do your part, Mr. President, and keep this country united, peaceful, without violence, as one Zambia, one nation, a land truly of work and joy in dignity and unity.
Thank you, Dr. Banda. I want to say to the people of Zambia, on Thursday, just 2 days from now, we will be voting. I pray that your vote will come from your conscience. I said to the people in church that especially to you Christians, when you vote, as you are in that booth, you must have prayed, you must have asked the Lord, not based on who you like, who you don't like, not based on all these political issues, but from God. God, is this the will that you want me to vote for this one? We want Zambia to continue remaining a Christian nation. We want Zambia to be given to the Lordship of Jesus Christ, and your vote will decide the future of this nation. Remember, you were born for greatness. Use prayer, use your heart. And thank you, Dr. Banda, for...
May the good Lord bless you and
Amen.
bless our republic.
Thank you so much. Though you didn't talk about how you are going to help us private stations.
Oh,
you know
okay.
that we struggle with
challenges
cameras.
do you have?
There are a lot of challenges.
Right.
Right now we want to cover the elections in Mpika, in Mwinilunga. There are no cameras.
But you see, this is a sponsored program. This is a sponsored program, and we elected to bring it to your station. I'm sure there's a little stipend which is coming your way.
No, I'm saying buy us vehicles.
Oh, okay, right.
Buy us cameras.
Okay, yeah, you see, Dr. Lungu is listening to you. So, Sosa, Chalo Chile Kumfwa, Pastor Chilua.
Dr. Canisius, welcome the TV viewers. That's all we could have handled. 2 hours has just flown. May God bless this great nation of Zambia. Keep on praying. Avoid fighting. Let's keep this nation under the peace of God. Differing in opinions does not mean you come for my throat. You were born for greatness and continue to remain great. May the Lord bless you. On behalf of my wife, who is the CEO of this station, the leadership of this nation, and the technical people on duty, I've been your pastor and presenter to this gracious brain mind of Dr. Canisius Banda. Until next time, keep watching Kamne TV, and remember, Kamne TV is not just another channel. Bye-bye.
Hey. Uyo, alebwele la posori. Uyo, nile sawa salire sori. Tapane kodunga chikabwe woso. Chambo chanoa, waba muwato wanoa. Nokubamba na tubomba sofa. Tatuakaleke sori. Muchambo chanoa, waba muwato wanoa. Nokubamba na tubomba sofa. Tatuakaleke sori. Alebwele la pu, na futi. Alebwele la pu, 2021. Alebwele la pu. Sometimes ila fwa ikawa baula. Weka feno tidionsa kudandaula. Sometimes ila fwa ikawa tasha. Natu womba nolo watila tabalasha. Mwana fechalo cheso bochawama. Tola ukeri line tola samwa. Wasa wiantanshu utaba mona. Valolela fedefwe wotukapona. Wena vaishi wapio kukondema. Tapadi wabawino kama ovena. Kati yuwena nilesa fe wasala. Gani wena ngatwa bafe munsala. Sodini uyo alebwele la posori. Uyo nile sawa salire sori. Tapale kodumba chikafwe woso. Chambo chanoa, waba muwato wanoa. Nokubamba na tubomba sofa. Tatuakaleke sori. Muchambo chanoa, waba muwato wanoa. Nokubamba na tubomba sofa. Tatuakaleke sori. Alebwele la pu, na futi. Alebwele la pu, 2021. Alebwele la pu. Vantote mavuta chabe kutasha. Na pamineti unatifuna kushusha. Nchito yamba kale ya sirize. Sorry, time has come to lay a mutu vota. Evotela koma.
wasalire sorry tapale fotinga chitafwe boso
Chambo cha Noah baba mubato wa Noah nakubamba na tubomba sofa tatwakaleke sorry Chambo cha Noah baba mubato wa Noah nakubamba na tubomba sofa tatwakaleke sorry
alebwele na futi alebwele na 2021 alebwele la
Nichiuta wapangile buze kabidili wapangile fyonse tetinkane tetinchinje akasanka chemwine amulekeni ateke alasakamana na balwele tawaishi bale kankwebe mulekeni asunke iyo abola alebwele la posori
uyo nilesa wasalire sorry tapale fotinga chitafwe boso
Chambo cha Noah baba mubato wa Noah nakubamba na tubomba sofa tatwakaleke sorry Chambo cha Noah baba mubato wa Noah nakubamba na tubomba sofa tatwakaleke sorry
alebwele la futi alebwele la 2021 alebwele la
Aye, yeah, aye, yeah, aye,